What's up, Algebra 1? Mr. Knight here, and we are on the last page of our note sheet from last week. This is level 3, graphing functions. We've been evaluating functions where we have f of x equals 2x minus 3, but for graphing purposes, we're just going to leave it as y equals 2x minus 3, and they're really the same thing, okay? So we have our inputs, our x values, and we're just going to plug some x values in to this function right here, and then see what our output is going to be, which is our y, okay? So let's actually fill out this table, and then I'll show you guys how to actually graph these guys, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in -1 first for x, and I'm going to do that to the side right here. So I got y equals 2, and then in parentheses that -1 minus 3, just like that, just like we've been doing with the functions, right? So now I'm going to do my Pemdas, my order of operations. I multiply first. I get -2 minus 3, and so that equals -5. So when x is -1, that means our y value for that is -5. And we can continue that just doing that process. I'll do it once more with 0. So I plug in my 0 in for x. 2 times 0 is 0. Minus 3 is -3. And that's it. That's all we're going to do for the next two. What I'd like you guys to do, I'd like you actually to warm up on these. I'd like you to fill out the next two points, the next two y coordinates. Go ahead and work with a partner on this. Let's see what we come up with, and go. All right, we're back. Let's see what we came up with. If we plug 2 into this guy, we get 2 times 2 minus 3. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So there's our y right there. Same thing with 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 3 is just 5. Okay? So we have our x coordinates and our y coordinates. And I'm saying coordinates because, well, we can get ordered pairs out of this. We can actually plot points. So I'm going to write this to the side just for right now. But you don't have to do this once you get your tables going. But really, we just made ordered pairs. And just like we've been doing last week, we can take these ordered pairs and we can graph them on our coordinate plane. So the horizontal axis, the one going left to right, that's our x. One going up and down is y. Positive x direction is this way. Positive y direction is up here. So let's plot these guys. So -1, -5. I'm going to go -1, and then -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is down here. And there's that guy. 0, -3, I don't move, but I go down 3 units. 2, 1, over 2, up 1. And then finally, we have 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5's up here. Okay? Now that we have plotted all these points, what we can do to officially graph our function, because we're actually graphing this line equation right here. It is a line. I can actually just kind of connect my dots. And there we go. I've graphed my function. Notice I have lines going. Like I show it's a line. I'm showing arrows. Why do you think I'm including arrows? I want you to think about that for a little bit and discuss, and then come back and share it with the class. Go for it. All right, so probably heard some interesting ideas. Basically, the whole idea behind this is it continues on forever and ever and ever in either direction. If I just close it off like that, that's technically a line segment, but we want a line out of this, right? But that's the whole idea with this. That is everything you need to know about graphing functions. Let's come down here to number 1, and let's see what we can do again with that, right? I'm only going to do the first couple, and I'll let you try the others on your own. So again, I'm going to plug these guys in for x up here. So I'll start off the first one. When I plug in -5 for x, it's going to be -5 plus 4. So when x is -5, then I get -1 for my y. My y equals -1. All right? And then I can continue on from there, right? I would like you guys to do the rest of this and apply this idea of plugging stuff in and see what your graph looks like. And go. Alright, we're back. Let's see what we came up with. I'm just going to run through this real quick. If I plug -4 in, -4 plus 4 is 0. If I plug in -2, -2 plus 4 is 2. And 0 plus 4 is just 4. And now let's actually plot these points. Let's see what that looks like. I got -5, -1 right here. I got 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 right here. I got -2, 2, -2, 2 up here. And then finally I have 0, 4, which is up here. Okay. That looks kind of whack, honestly. Did we do it right? Did we do it right? Technically we did, for the most part, but did Mr. Knight make an error? Did I make an error? Go ahead and discuss one-on-one with your partner right now and go. Alright, hopefully you caught my error. -4, 0. -4 is in this direction. This should be -4, 0 right here. So that point shouldn't be there. We should just get this guy right here. Okay. So it should look like a line. So I made this error, and it's no big deal, because what we can do is, if we're plotting this, we know we need to get a line out of this. So if I have a point over here, there's no way I'm going to get a line. I'd have to go up and then over. It would have been messy, right? So if you're not getting a line, that's a pretty good indicator you're not graphing it correctly, or you need to go back and check if you're getting the correct y values, okay? So that's kind of a little trick you can use. We are going to do number 4 next. Now, number 4, the printing. I don't know what happened with it. The printer just kind of like took a crap on us. So what we're going to do is we're just going to change those up. We're going to pick what we want. I'm going to pick 0, and I'm going to pick +2 for x. The reason I picked those values is because they're actually a lot easier to use, as you're going to see in a second. So let's plug in some of these first couple values. I'm just going to plug in these top 2, and I'm going to let you try the rest on your own. Well, now we have a fraction, and it's a negative fraction. So we got to keep that in mind. I'm going to plug my -2 in. Now when I plug this in, it might be a good idea to put it over 1. And why would I do that? Go. Alright, the reason we should is because I'm going to have to multiply these, and when I multiply my fractions, I go top to top, bottom to bottom, right? So that's why I put it over 1. Now let's multiply. So I got -3 times -2. That is a +6 over 2 times 1, which is 2. Then we're going to add the 2. So then I do 6 divided by 2. That gives me 3 plus 2, which gives me 5. So when I plug in a -2 into this guy, I get a 5. Alright, one more time with 0. That's really nice to do, because anything times 0 is 0, plus 2 is just 2. Okay? So I'm going to plot the first two. -2, 5 will be up here, and 0, 2 will be here. Go ahead and get the other 2 y coordinates, and then go ahead and set up the graph. Let's see what you guys come up with. Go. Alright, we're back. Let's check out what we did. If I plug 2 into this guy, I'll end up getting -6 over 2, which gives me -3. Plus 2 is -1. I plug the 4 into here. I should get -6 plus 2, which is -4. So 2, -1 is right here. 4, -4 is down here. And yes, we get a line out of that. Now there's a couple of specific points that I want to touch on that'll come in handy for tomorrow. And I want to pay special attention to this guy right here. And I want to pay special attention to this guy over here. Okay, this guy right here is called an X-Intercept. or a zero. Okay? A zero of the graph, we call it. Basically, it's where a graph crosses the x-axis. That's all you need to know for right now. This one crosses the y-axis, so we call it the y-intercept. But we don't call it the zero of the graph. We just call it the y-intercept. It doesn't get a cool, fancy number associated with it, so kind of limited right there. What I'd like you guys to do is, honestly, if we're good, we can start the homework, and if Mr. Knight in class feels good about that, he can make that judgment call. This is Mr. Knight from the past, checking out. Have a good one.